Welcome back to the Red Wings Report by Strings and Pucks. Today, we're talking about draft picks and core pieces. There's a lot of criticism about General Manager Steve Yzerman's handling of the rebuild, but I think one thing that's been better, certainly under Yzerman, has been selections in the first round. With Ken Holland's departure, we step back now. There are only 3 players left in the system that were part of his picks, and that's Dylan Larkin. Obviously, he's the captain, first-round pick. Michael Rasmussen, former first-round pick. He's pretty much settled in as a third-round centerman. And Jonathan Berggren, to me, he's kind of middle six, but he has another chance to show what he can do. But really, all of the other picks have either left the team or the NHL. You've had Philip Zadina, he's overseas. Joe Veleno, he's now in Montreal, but after being traded, he's skipped around quite a bit. Svechnikov, his playing days in the U.S. seem to be over. Mantha, there was a lot of high hope for him. He's starting to settle in, but obviously not for Detroit. Where Yzerman took the reins with the rebuild was first getting rid of everyone on the roster, which he did. He turned over all but one player from the opening night roster. And then in 2019, selected Moritz Seider. So Seider, to me, it could be the future captain of the team. He's got great leadership qualities, strong. He's on the ice for nearly half the game, and really has stepped up. He grabbed the mantle as the top defenseman for the Red Wings. From his draft, Johansson, of course, he stepped in as what I'll say is probably a bottom pairing defenseman going forward, but when they had to play him or lose him, he stepped up and was able to grab a spot. And then from that draft also, Soderblom. And I think he's going to be a good bottom six forward for Detroit going forward. He did have some time with Dylan Larkin last year at the end of the season. Big body and in tight. We saw this at the World Juniors. He can get off some nice shots in tight on the net and could be great on the power play. They just need him to be physical, but once the team has an established, solid top six, bottom six, I see him as a bottom six guy. But for the core pieces, so you had Seider in 2019, Raymond in 2020, and he's broken out and been a nice surprise for Detroit. Didn't quite make 30 goals last year, made it the year before, but his calling card is he's becoming a near point per game player. And that's something Detroit really needs in the top six, someone who's all over the ice. His back check has gotten really, really solid. In my mind, the most complete winger Detroit has right now, just up and down the ice. Other than him, from his draft, there really isn't anyone else knocking on the door right now. Wallinder, I think he should get a chance to play, but Detroit, I don't know. I think they want to see him in Grand Rapids a bit more. But Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider, and then from the 2021 draft, Simon Edvinsson, their first-round pick that year. This was a player I really wanted to see them get, and I didn't think would be available at 6. He was referred to as the poor man's Victor Hedman. They drafted him at 6'4", grew to 6'6", so you've got more defensemen than what you drafted, but very good skater, very, very, very good vision on the ice, playmaking, and he's learning to use his physicality quite a bit more. I think in the end, he and Seider could be the top pairing for Detroit in the next couple of years. That may even happen this year. In 2022, Marco Kasper was selected in the first round. And I do think he's a core piece. He took over the center position on the second line last year with Kane and DeBrincat, and he just took off after Todd McClellan took over. So for all the criticisms and things that aren't going right in the rebuild, those 4 successive first rounders have become core pieces, and Seider, Raymond, Edvinsson, and Kasper. And I think that's something important to take a step back. It's easy to say, yeah, you need to hit it in the first round, but it's not always the reality of things. As we saw, with Holland's departure, I do think Yzerman has done a good job building the core with those 4 players, those 4 first-round draft picks, Seider, Raymond, Edvinsson, and Kasper. Now, it remains to be seen who the next player is to step up and be a part of that core. The team thinks highly of Danielson, Carter Bear, this year's acquisition as a winger. So we'll have to see. But let me know what you think about those 4 players and what they mean for Detroit going forward, and who you think the next breakout player is going to be. We'll see how it goes, but thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.